really kind of loved this particular history of this particular fort, just for that idea. We're all created equal, and we should all be treated that same way, and that was the whole idea of the Maine War that this particular fort seen. Welcome to Tigner Adventures. Today we are exploring the National Seashore National Park. So in Florida. So we have made it
Florida.
To Florida. Yep. Now we're just barely in the boundary of Florida, but hey, we are in Florida, and we are staying at this really nice Elks Lodge. And so we're gonna hang out here for a couple days and just check things out. So this beach is, the seashore here is a big long beach, but at the end of the beach is Fort Pickens. So we're gonna go check out that fort also. And one thing I did want to mention is that if you want more up-to-date things of what we're doing, and more timely, I guess I should say, then follow us on, what is it?
Tigner Adventures.
Tigner Adventures on Instagram and Facebook. So Ninette is doing a really good job of making sure that stays pretty close to up to date. It's not where we're at that specific day, but we're a lot closer on that compared to the videos. So anyway, it takes a while to get the videos edited and everything done. So anyway, we are having fun, and we hope that you can come along with us on this trip. So let's go check it out. Hi everyone, we are at Fort Pickens. If you look here, you can see the fort, the remnants anyway, of the fort. We're going to check out their Discovery Center and kind of just see what we can find out about this particular area, and kind of wander around the ruins of the fort. So we are in the Discovery Center, and if you look here, this is kind of where you start your adventure. It talks about the National Seashores area is not just the shore itself, but out into the ocean area there, and it's pretty interesting, the whole layout here, so it's definitely well worth coming in to check out. And then one of the things that's kind of our favorite thing is they actually sunk the USS Massachusetts just off the shore here for those that want to scuba dive and check it out. It's an artificial reef for the fish, and so we've heard about that from the dive shop. All the boats are reserved, so getting a boat to actually go out and do a scuba trip is difficult. So, and then as you look around the displays here too, they also have all these little recording wands, so you can pick them up, and it talks about each individual section of the Discovery Center here. So pretty detailed description of each little thing that happened or happens here at the National Seashores, and quite a bit about the fort and how the fort was maintained and still is today. So they have a really nice 15-minute video that talks all about the fort. It goes into the description about this gun here.
Fort Pickens was designed for over 200 cannons like this 32-pounder. This is about 9 feet long, 3.5 tons of cast iron. It would fire a 32-pound iron ball.
The video continues on to talk about this part of the fort that used to be there, but the guns they used in the new fort back behind here, which is a fort within the fort, they stored the guns and the powder here, and it ignited and blew out this whole section of the fort. They were able to clean it up and pull out the guns and mount them, but this portion of the fort was never rebuilt. So the interesting thing about this fort is it was put here. It's one of the largest forts here along the coast, along the outside coast of the United States. They have forts all the way down the East Coast. They have a bunch of them over on the west side. The idea here was to break away from British control and to be free, right? So it's kind of interesting that this particular fort was put here to protect us, and in that case it was like the colonies and things, but it was all built by slave labor. All these bricks, 21 million bricks, all hand crafted and carved and everything, and then it was all put into place. It was all this work was done by slaves, which he says was the injustice of the whole system and which led to the Civil War. This fort was only actually really seen any action just during the Civil War. It's the only time it really seen any action. And so it was kind of interesting to me that the whole idea was to free everyone. The Civil War was that injustice of, you know, having slaves and everything and getting rid of those and treating everyone as equals. And that's what this fort stands for. So this is one of the things that when we talk about history, some of the history out west is, it's just, we don't like history in the sense that a lot of the things that happen in history is, for example, out west is taking away all the lands that belong to the Indians, for example, and putting Indians onto reservations and things like that. This particular fort stood for a whole different thing. So we really kind of love this particular history of this particular fort, just for that idea. We're all created equal, and we should all be treated that same way. And that was the whole idea of the main war that this particular fort seen. So that was pretty exciting. It's a big fort, though. So we're walking down this tunnel. We got a tunnel off to the right here, and we have some tunnels over here. They fill these full 1,000 pounds of powder, and if the enemy got into here, the idea was they could blow this all up and it would kill them up above. So the original fort was made out of brick, but this back section, this is a fort within a fort. This is all concrete because the guns they used here were a lot bigger, heavier. They went up to 8 miles when they shot out at something, and they were called disappearing guns. So if you look right here, this is where the guns were mounted, and they'd get it all set up, shoot the gun, and then it would drop back down below the wall, so the enemy couldn't see where the shot actually came from. And this is the back side of that new fort. So you can see kind of the openings kind of hanging down out there. Those are where the cannons were sitting. And so when they would rise up and shoot, they would actually shoot over the wall of the regular fort and out into the ocean there. Remember, they had an 8-mile accuracy. That's amazing. Well, I'm not sure if this is the same cannon that was over on the other area of the fort, but it's one of these disappearing ones where they load it all up, it goes up and shoots and then drops back down, so the enemy can't see where the shot came from, per se. All right, well, that is our visit to Fort Pickens and also the National Seashores National Park. So the actual fort is all over the place out here on the end here. So this little section we're at right here is a different piece that was put in with a different type of cannon or cannon. So anyway, the interesting thing about the fort is that it kept being adapted throughout history. So from when it first was built, it just kept being adapted until it was finally abandoned and became a state park. So it's pretty interesting. There is so much around here. There's a app that you can get to put on your phone. It doesn't talk though. It just you have to read about everything. But they do have little markers everywhere, and they do come around, or kind of give you an idea what's going on. The video that's inside the Discovery Center, I think, was really well done. Talked a lot about basically all those stops that you would actually stop at anyways. So, but anyway, Ninette, you liked all the bricks, right?
No, it's really well kind of preserved. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. It's big. It's a big fort.
We've been to 2 forts that are pretty similar to this. They were over in Washington and Oregon, going as Fort Stevens area, where the Columbia River there. Those are like miniatures compared to this thing. This thing is, and they said
huge.
This was the hugest fort that they built along, the largest. The largest fort that they built along the coastal area here, along the east here, and the
looks
initial,
like the Pentagon.
Yeah, it does. It's all, it goes everywhere. And it's a big maze that when you're out there actually walking through there and everything, it's,
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I mean, eventually we just ended up back where we were. So I guess it's just because it's this big octagon thing that we kind of ended up back where we were. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I think that you really need to come here. And I mean, this is one that when we're talking about history, I think this fort has a lot of history. It's not just one thing. It's history throughout the times, and so it's you know, it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's something that is pretty cool. The National Seashores, just what they're doing with the actual shore here. This is like on Padre Island where they're protecting the. Are you getting hot? Where they're protecting the the turtles and things. You know, I mean, it's the same thing here. So they have all the sea life that they're trying to protect and everything.
And now we're gonna go see some sea life.
And now we're hoping that we're gonna go actually do some
water.
snorkeling and stuff. So we'll see what we can actually find out here, because we're not gonna be doing any scuba diving, but we might be able to do some snorkeling. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on our next video, or maybe down the road somewhere, but take care.
Bye-bye.